Amidst the anticipation of the weekend's NCAA tournament, I was struck by a piece written by Joe Kay of the Associated Press. I was struck because a story near and dear to me has unfolded and will play out over the course of this summer. Like most of you, I've been captured by the NFL free agency season and, of course, March Madness. And you may not even recognize that the Major League Baseball season begins this week. Kay's piece in the AP chronicles the closing of an era as two legendary baseball voices will retire at this season's end. And for me, it'll be the last chance to listen to the one person who had the most influence in my professional life. Marty Brennaman will retire following this 2019 Cincinnati Reds season as play-by-play voice. 46 years of a Hall of Fame broadcasting career. My entire life as the voice of the Reds. As Kay so eloquently described, baseball broadcasters are the backdrop to many of our summer nights. There is a connection between their voices and the way we feel about those days and nights, and when they approach, like right now, at the end of spring training, we know and feel that summer is almost here. I've often talked about my childhood as there was never a time where I could remember not wanting to be a play-by-play announcer when I grew up. How I would sit at the foot of my father's desk in his office in the front of our home in Anderson Township in Cincinnati and mute Cubs games on WGN and attempt to call the game. But I never felt myself emulating Harry Caray, who was the Cubs television play-by-play guy. Pictured myself as Marty Brennaman. When my career in play-by-play got started, I called my first ever baseball game at Robert N. Wilson Field in Georgetown, Kentucky. Georgetown College was competing in the Mid-South Conference tournament, and as one of their play-by-play announcers, had an opportunity to call a few games. In between the middle innings of that first game, another inhabitant of the broadcast booth stated to me from across the room that, "Hey, you sound like Marty Brennaman." And it scared the crap out of me. It scared me because the last thing that I wanted was for anyone to think that I was copying or impersonating somebody else. I realized quickly that was not the case. That's not what was happening, not what I was trying to do, and that initial fear quickly gave way to a feeling of incredible flattery. I was doing the best I could in the first chance I ever had to do it, and nobody else's opinion outside of what I would see and hear was going to be harder on myself than I would be. And I was performing in a way that I thought was the way it was supposed to be done, apparently like Marty. For 25 years, Marty Brennaman had been the backdrop of my summers, and the way a game, whether it was baseball or basketball, was supposed to be done. No one person has had more of an impact or influence on a craft and a profession that, for my entire life, I have desperately coveted. So, as your unmatched and distinguished career comes to a close, Marty, over the course of this summer, I wanted to join in with the rest of Cincinnati and the baseball world to say thank you.